Today, we are going to be playing the new format Explorer. And I wanted to build an Arcane Bombardment Alrund's Epiphany deck. I was originally planning to do an Alchemy, but the introduction of Explorer means that I get to play unnerfed Lier in this list and get to play Growth Spiral. So, we're going to do that because I like playing Growth Spiral, even if I have to splash green only for Growth Spiral. It's been too long since I've gotten to cast a Growth Spiral. So the general idea behind this list is that if Arcane Bombardment exiles an Alrund's Epiphany that's in your graveyard because you discarded it to Big Score or Unexpected Windfall or Learn, then every time you cast a spell for the rest of the game, you wind up taking an extra turn and making 2 birds. And it's not very hard to win the game if every spell in your deck turns into an extra turn. Now, the random element of Arcane Bombardment, which reads that whenever you cast your first, and only your first, instant or sorcery spell each turn, which can mean also on your opponent's turn, you exile a random card from your graveyard and then get to copy it every time you cast any instant or sorcery for the first time for the rest of the game. Which means if your graveyard is full of instants and sorceries, there's a chance to whiff with Alrund's Epiphany. Now, conceptually, that's supposed to be where Lier comes in. I originally viewed this as a deck that I wanted to try and pioneer because Delve synergizes a lot with emptying out all the early instants and sorceries so that you have a higher chance of exiling Alrund's Epiphany. But Lier kind of fills the same role of giving you a way to turbo empty your graveyard to such an extent that it's possible this list just wants a third Lier. But the other possibility is that Arcane Bombardment might just be enough card advantage that we can, not need to rely on getting the combo of hitting an Alrund's Epiphany. We might just be able to, hit a bunch of Growth Spirals and Fading Hopes and Flame Blessed Bolts and Divide by Zeros and just, have a ton of mana? We'll see. Playing in a best of 1 mostly because I don't want to figure out how to make a sideboard plan that actually beats Control, as is the tradition, and because having 7 learn cards for Divide by Zero that we're going to copy a ton of times sounds like a good time. Let's see how it goes. Oh no! The one mountain in my deck that can't cast Growth Spiral. Still, we have Big Score, Alrund's Epiphany, Arcane Bombardment. I think I'm obligated to keep this. We're going to hope that we draw lands. We're in a pretty good spot if we just draw lands. Ketria Triome was not the best land, but it is a good land. Alright, opponent, you're going to have to do something. No! No, my Arcane Bombardment! Take Growth Spiral, take Growth Spiral, take Growth Spiral. Oh, opponent, opponent, that wasn't what you wanted to take. You're doing my job for me. Alright, alright. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and put this Stomping Ground into play then. Ooh, Galvanic Iteration. I don't really want to discard that to Big Score, because then it can be exiled by Arcane Bombardment, which is basically just whiffing. But I don't want to discard any of these other cards, so I guess we're gonna have to. Wonder if I should have sorcery speeded Big Score. Luckily, it wasn't punished. Alright, some lands, that's cool. Ooh, an Alrund's Epiphany, sure. How do I want to do this? I don't really want to jam Arcane Bombardment without the ability to cast anything. What the heck, I'm going to jam Arcane Bombardment without the ability to cast anything. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, I have to discard a card, oh no. Alright, well, Top deck Alrund's Epiphany, why not? Take an extra turn, trigger Arcane Bombardment. Exile a card. Which card is it? Growth Spiral. Fun. Alright. And then... we're gonna shock and cast an Alrund's Epiphany and exile a card. Oh, cool. I get to take an extra turn every turn for the rest of the game. That's probably gonna win. I'm gonna cast Spikefield Hazard. Put Nuka Bolus back in hand, take an extra turn, cast a Growth Spiral. Oh wow, we're done. Who would have thought? Alright, once again there's this basic mountain that's really not making the Growth Spiral life super happy, but I mean, I'm not throwing away Growth Spiral, even if it's a turn 3 Growth Spiral. Yay, Growth Spiral happy. Successful top decks. Alright. We Growth Spiraling. I'm playing tap land, or are we cycling tap land? I guess I'm never really cycling this tap land. Well, I mean, I've already got a green source, so maybe I cycle the tap land eventually. And I'm supposed to put Steam Vents in there. Do I play around my opponent having Spell Pierce? I suppose I might as well. Untap doesn't have the Streets of New Capenna cards. Got it. We only have 2. Tempest Djinn. Okay. So we're playing against mono blue. Growth Spiral. Ooh, an Alrund's Epiphany. Fun. I'd like Tempest Djinn to be back in my opponent's hand. Big score is perfect. We'll go ahead and foretell Alrund's Epiphany. Maybe I'm not supposed to foretell Alrund's Epiphany because I actually want it in my graveyard? I'm uncertain on that one. Alright, let's go ahead and cast Big Score while we can pay for Spell Pierce. Oh cool, a big score. Alright, let's go ahead and cast Big Score while we can pay for Spell Pierce. Do I actually want to do that? Yeah, probably. Okay, I don't think it's worth playing this land out when, if I top deck a real spell, I want to discard the land to Big Score. Do you think cantrips, bolts, counterspells would accomplish the same thing with all the 7-drops? I don't know. Unexpected Windfall? I guess I'm assuming that I want to play this land. Maybe I'm not supposed to. But I kind of suspicious my opponent has a hard counter now, so I don't really want to play anything if I don't have to. Or at least if I do play something here, I would prefer it to be something that makes the opponent tap out so that they can't answer my Alrund's Epiphany as easily. Okay, so let's go ahead and discard Flame Blessed Bolt, see if they have a counterspell here. I don't want them drawing with Curious Obsession before I get the chance to do any of this. Do I divide by 0 the Tempest Djinn? Odds are very good that they have a protection spell by now. And then my divide by 0 fizzles. Let's start with big scoring the forest, and then probably I'm not going to divide by 0 the Tempest Djinn. Lier and Galvanic Iteration. Okay, I do not need to divide by 0 anything at all. I think I probably just win here. Alright, Galvanic Iteration. Pause for the opponent to have a counterspell. Okay, you have successfully countered my Galvanic Iteration. Play a land. Galvanic Iteration. I guess I'd probably prefer if you didn't counter that Galvanic Iteration. I could just let them counter the Galvanic Iteration. No. So the problem with Divide by Zeroing this Wizard's Retort is that I don't have enough mana to pay for a Spell Pierce. I'm probably still winning through a Spell Pierce, even if I put this Wizard's Retort back into their hand. I don't think I need 2 extra turns to win with them tapped out here, though. Not when I'm about to put Lier in play. Hexproof spells on Tempest Djinn is kind of inconvenient, but everything's going to be uncounterable once Lier's in play. I guess putting the Wizard's Retort back in their hand doesn't actually matter. Okay, they had the Spell Pierce, so it wound up being the right choice. Play Lier. How best to do this? Fading Hope the Djinn. Do I want to land? Probably not. Growth Spiral. I think I just want as much mana as possible, and then we remove the Trickster, and then, like, I don't know. Do I need to attack my opponent? Probably not. I don't see why doing damage to my opponent matters. Yep, there's a Djinn. Oh, creature that can't be blocked. That's kind of inconvenient. We're going to divide by 0 this Tempest Djinn at sorcery speed, because if their final spell is a spell that grants hexproof, I want to be able to divide by 0 again on their upkeep when it's not hexproof. And I can't answer the Tempest Djinn short of blocking it otherwise. Isn't really the right order. I should have... Oh, they can't counter Windfall. Right. Right. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and pass, because we have 1. Because Lier is a good card advantage engine. Oh, I guess I can just discard Alrund's Epiphany to big score here at the end of turn, can't I? Actually, I can do it to Unexpected Windfall. Which is technically better for mana reasons. Okay. Wow. Still haven't found an Arcane Bombardment, huh? There's our Arcane Bombardment. So let's see. Oh, it's not the first spell after Arcane Bombardment. It's literally the first spell, so I can't play this Arcane Bombardment and then exile Alrund's Epiphany. Bummer. Oh well. Let's put the Tempest Djinn back in their hand. Let's go ahead and get a Mascot Exhibition. Play a Ketria Triome. No attacks. I don't need them. So it's a 6-mana do-nothing? It's not a 6-mana do-nothing if I don't cast a spell before playing Bombardment. But because I played Big Score before drawing the Bombardment, it didn't do anything that turn. It'll do something on my opponent's turn, though. And namely, it's about to take infinity turns. So we're going to Growth Spiral, we're going to exile a random card. If it's Alrund's Epiphany, we win. It's not, it's Big Score, so instead we only win. We draw a card, we put all the Storm Giants in play. Alright, we're going to hold priority. We're going to cast Start from Scratch, targeting Siren Storm Tamer. And in response to this Arcane Bombardment trigger, we're going to cast Big Score, discarding Breeding Pool. That makes it so Alrund's Epiphany is the only card in our graveyard. Which means that Arcane Bombardment is guaranteed to exile Alrund's Epiphany. Which means I now take an extra turn every turn for the rest of the game, which is a lot of turns. Which means we win. Whee! I mean, we had legitimately already won that game already, but still, whee! Okay, once again, this is a hand that includes lands and some spells that are castable, so we're gonna keep. Howdy, Mean Bean. How goes it? Alright. Bolt the Elf. Could hold up Fading Hope. Do I want to? I'm going to assume that I probably don't want to. But I did make a mistake here. I wasn't supposed to play Breeding Pool. Now I can't Growth Spiral at sorcery speed and hold up Fading Hope easily. Luckily, turns out that didn't really matter. I'm not going to foretell the Alrund's Epiphany here, because I want to discard the Alrund's Epiphany to Unexpected Windfall. Mono green mana dorks? Is that what I am to believe here? Okay. Curious. I will Fading Hope the Paradise Druid for tempo. Why not? Growth Spiral. Do I want it? I mean, it does seem good with Lier, I guess. I'm probably not supposed to want it. Finding my 5th untap land is probably more important. I do have a fresh haircut, which means it's the time of the post-haircut season where I begin to struggle to keep my hair in place because it's ever so slightly too short. Am I supposed to Spikefield Llanowar Elf? Lier actually lines up pretty nicely against Nissa. That's cool.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Ooh, Kiora. Alright. This is mostly cool. They get to keep untapping the same forest animated over and over and over.
The ocean surges, life.
It's a neat engine. Alright, and the reason we did not use that treasure to Spikefield the Llanowar Elf was specifically because I wanted to be able to, if I didn't hit the untapped land, do this Fading Hope trick. Do I want that land? I don't not want an untapped land, actually. Alright. Well, unfortunately, this does not leave us with an answer to the opponent just having the Hydra that's a removal spell. Storming the Festival is not a Hydra that's a removal spell. So how many other green removal spells can they hit off Storming the Festival? They should have upticked Nissa first, because now they can't hit a second Nissa. But okay, that wasn't super scary or significant.
The land fights for us.
Can this version of the deck go infinite without Nykthos? Can it go infinite with Nykthos? I would certainly consider that scary. Ooh, Unnatural Growth means the opponent's Paradise Druids get up to 2 toughness before leaving the battlefield, or before becoming unhexproofed. That kind of sucks. They absolutely should have attacked with Paradise Druid. I'm not allowed to trade off my Lier in this position. Unnatural Growth, huh? Awkward. Discarding Unexpected Windfall. Still holding up Spikefield, Flameblessed Bolt for the Paradise Druid. We didn't hit a Fading Hope for the Forest, which means I'm probably gonna die, I expect. So I need to Spikefield this Paradise Druid before it gets bigger. I guess I could actually kill that Forest with a Spikefield plus a Flameblessed Bolt. I am probably supposed to do that rather than kill the other stuff. Do I use up my treasure? To Spikefield a Llanowar Elf? I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, because Llanowar Elf can get blocked by Lier. That's just not, like, super necessary. I get to animate a really big layer of the Hydra, which I think means I'm chump blocking with Lier, which probably means I'm dead. Oh, cool, they're just casting Storm in the Festival instead of killing me. I love having outs. Okay. Karn is scary, because that also means I can't use my treasure now. Opponent can untap the forest and swing for 6, if they want.
Let's get moving.
To get blue mana, I'm assuming.
My allies are counting on me.
God Pharaoh statue. Why do you want... What? Why did we swing with a 4-2 Paradise Druid instead of a 6-6 Vigilance? No blocks? Okay, well now I can kill Karn to get my treasure back. Oh, do we take the 50-50 gamble to win the game instantly? I'm 1 mana short of... I could Unexpected Windfall, discarding Spikefield Hazard. Get up to 5 mana, play a land, up to 6 mana, cast Bombardment. If I had 1 more mana, I could then cast the Spikefield... Oh, no, I couldn't, because Arcane Bombardment is only ever the first spell a turn. What's the loss if I lose the gamble? The loss if I lose the gamble is that I die instantly. Because I Arcane Bombardment and cast Spikefield, and then I only resolve Windfall, which means I just die on board. Pretty sure 50% is better than the odds otherwise, huh? Alright. I guess I actually still get to make 2 birds even if I whiff, because I can cast the Spikefield on their turn. Alright, well, let's just try to win, though. Fitty fitty! Come on, Bombardment! Yes! Alright! Victory achieved!
Will endure.
I mean, I should just be going for their face, but oh well. Boop, boop, boop. I do actually have a fizzle rate here of not drawing spells at all. So, like, I do actually have to go and kill my opponent. Pre-combat Bombardment kills the Paradise Druid. It doesn't work because I was relying on... I had to kill the Karn in order to have my treasure be usable, because Karn shuts off my artifact's ability. I could have shocked and done that pre-combat, which I guess was probably free, but losing 2 life didn't seem great when I was at 4, and they hypothetically might have had a 2-power attacker. I don't know. It was probably fine. So if we draw, like, specifically Growth Spiral into land, this hand is excellent. Or at least pretty good. Alright, I'm on board. Besides Lier, can we manipulate the graveyard with something like Escape? I think that there are options this deck could have for manipulating the graveyard. I haven't managed to find any yet that seemed super efficient on curve, which is the big constraint, that this deck is actually pretty all about curving out. Mono black Sanctum of Stone Fangs? Okay. I think Lier is probably just, like, the best option, though. No! I don't want to take damage whenever I draw a card, opponent. That, like, actually can kill me. Opponent. I think I'm actually gonna lose to this anti-infinite turns combo deck. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, I have Divide by Zero, so I suppose I'm not actually, like, strictly speaking dead. I'm just definitely not happy. Is this gonna be my first loss? Okay, thankfully Revenge of Ravens doesn't really matter. Fading Hope is kind of a problem here, because I don't have any targets, so I can't cast it. Okay, Lier is great. I do gotta find a Divide by Zero here. But I probably can win if I find Divide by Zero next turn. Okay. But now I really need to find Divide by Zero. Okay, found Divide by Zero. We got there. We did it, team! I should have done this in response to that, but oh well. Okay, Underworld Dreams goes away. We get a Growth Spiral. Yeah, I'm willing to pay an extra life. Put a land onto the battlefield. Yeah, we get Environmental Sciences, why not? Have I played a land for the turn? I don't know if I played a land for the turn. Let's go ahead and find out. We get a Forest. I have not. We... Unexpected Windfall, I guess, probably. Probably. Discarding Alrund's Epiphany? Sure. Okay. No attacks. Go to my turn. Play Environmental Sciences. Take 2 turns. Put lands into play. Decline. Divide by Zero the Revenge of Ravens. Go get Mascot Exhibition. Pass the turn. I don't know. Play Arcane Bombardment. No. Alrund's Epiphany. I don't actually want to put more spells in my graveyard right now is the thing. Because I just want these Arcane Bombardments to hit Divide by Zero sooner. I'm trying to figure out the most speedily efficient way to do this. Okay, there we go. Yay! We did it! There were a lot of ways we could do lethal there, provided we found a single Divide by Zero. Many routes to it. Alright, well, keeping 3 lands, 3 Divide by Zeros doesn't seem like a good hand, but I feel obligated to find out how it works. Oh, I was really expecting that I was going to draw into a Growth Spiral there. Huh. Weird. That just didn't happen. Expressive Iteration. You can put that back in your hand, opponent. I don't think I'm going to get a better target to Divide by Zero this turn. What do I want to do? I think I just want to discard Alrund's Epiphany. Have that nice and out of the way. Am I dividing by Zero Expressive Iteration if they cast it this turn? Well, certainly not if they play a land drop. If the opponent wants to pass on 4 mana, while in red, I am not going to spend my time cycling Ketria Triome instead of holding up Divide by Zero against what is almost certainly going to be a attempt to play Windfall while I'm tapped out. Expressive Iteration number 2. Sure. Now I actually have an opening to cycle Ketria Triome without being punished. And I don't really care about my opponent resolving Expressive Iteration in this position because they're going to have to discard to hand size anyway unless they play something. And if they play something, I make them discard to hand size because I divide by 0. Or they could foretell. Alright. Fair opponent. That's very cute. Okay, the flooding is a little bit intense. I wonder if I should have played an untapped land there so that I could have had 2 divide by 0s up. Probably. I'm worried my opponent's going to start Galvanic Iterationing things, and then I just lose. Big score number 1. Okay. This we can answer. We're going to get a Teachings. Expressive. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't worried about Expressive Iteration being out of control card advantage, but if I fail to ever find spells, that becomes a problem. Alright, I do not want my opponent to have an Unexpected Windfall, so we're just going to get more Teachings. Yeah, I don't think I can win this. If my opponent has, like, no interaction in the form of divide by 0s, maybe I can just chain off a bunch of Alrund's Epiphanies here. But it's pretty unlikely, especially when they go to cast Unexpected Windfall, and I don't have a response. Okay. Okay, nothing is... maybe... more Epiphanies. Is there any world in which I can afford to pass here? The trouble is, if I go for Alrund's Epiphany and get divide by 0'd, I just lose. I don't think I can play around that, though, because I don't actually think that I have a way to win by passing in this situation. I think I kind of just have to play the Epiphany and hope they don't have divide, knowing that that's unlikely. But I'm just too far behind to not take this risk. Yeah, there's the divide. Okay, now the hope is that they don't have Galvanic. They have Epiphany exiled. I'm giving them free will to do whatever they want. Lier. Okay. Holding up divide? That could have been worse. Not holding up divide? Untap land in hand, probably. So this gives me an out to find a Fading Hope to bounce the Lier before casting Epiphany, or to find another divide by 0 to protect my Epiphany. Or the opponent to just not find an untapped land. They found an untapped land. Okay. Now... outs. Fading Hope. Sweet! Alright, please don't have another divide by 0 in hand, opponent. Good work, deck. Okay. Shock. Do I want to cast this Epiphany? No. I want to cast this Epiphany. Casting Teachings actually is a big deal here. They had another divide. Okay. That does use up a lot of treasures, which is something. Would I rather foretell Epiphany or resolve Teachings? I probably need to resolve Teachings because I need another Fading Hope to answer the Lier. Okay, divide by 0 also answers divide by 0 because they don't have enough mana. They might just fire off Epiphany. They can fire off Galvanic Epiphany. No, they just play Lier. Okay, okay. Once again, that's handleable. We have the tools necessary to do this. Divide the Lier. They could have another Divide by Zero in hand again. Okay. Mascot Exhibition's mostly useless. I guess I'm actually supposed to loot. Growth Spiral's not super useful. Okay, Alrund's Epiphany. No. Okay, yes. I guess Double Jwari Disruption hurts pretty bad. No, that successfully resolves. Okay. How about drawing Galvanic? No. Okay. Land. Punch with Burbs. Unexpected Windfall, discarding Flame Blessed Bolt. Fading Hope, Galvanic. Okay, I think we just won. Wow. Big score. Okay. So we're going to take 3 extra turns here. I'm going to assume that's just lethal because we actually get birds with all of them. I mean, unless the opponent has like a Cinderclasm that they wait. Fading Hope definitely don't do it. Alright. I'm not sure how we won this, but we won this. This is not the typical sort of hand that you win Alrund's Epiphany mirrors with, but I guess it worked. Not gonna say no. Alright, well, this hand doesn't do much, but we're on the play, so I feel obligated to keep a hand that doesn't do anything until turn 4 if I'm on the play. Maybe we'll just draw Growth Spiral and it'll be the absolute stone cold nuts. Well, they're an epic here. Oh no. Alright. Second Windfall doesn't do anything yet. Thoughtseize takes Arcane Bombardment. Literally no other spell matters. Takes Alrund's Epiphany, which is a card that I wanted to discard anyway. Works for me. Play Hall the Storm Giants and give the opponent more information because I'm feeling generous. The amount of hand hate spells that hit cards I already wanted to discard is pretty amusing. Obnixilis the Adversary. Okay. I guess it's time to find out if that's good or not. I don't know if it is. Yeah, decline. Ooh, Galvanic. Sweet. What am I discarding here? Alright, decline.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Decline.
Go ahead.
This is doing a lot of damage.
For mercy.
I guess that's decent. Down to 10. I think I'm discarding the Breeding Pool, probably. Okay, Giganta to hand? I don't know that I care about that. Alright, discard the Breeding Pool. I don't want to put more spells in my in my graveyard if I can help it. Flame Blessed Bolt. Sweet. That seems perfect to me. So we play Harbor. We play Bombardment. Flame Blessed Bolt the Nixilis, I think. Have a 50% chance to win the game instantly on the spot. I don't know why people think this Obnixilis Planeswalker seems very good. Like, it only did like 8 damage to me or something. Then the game was over. I don't know. Alright, this hand could potentially cast Growth Spiral on turn 2, so I'm obligated to keep it. Hey Chris, glad to see you are already on the Chrissiest card in the set. This was the card that I most wanted to make a deck out of pretty much immediately, because it's like, it's a card that looks like a meme, but it's actually like excellent. Moxfield, thank you. Like, actually legitimately just excellent. Most underrated card in the entire set by a huge, huge, huge factor. Like 3 at least. When an unanswered is taken over every game you've seen. I have had a lot of times where on turn 5, I just played it, took a 50-50 dice roll on if it was going to exile Epiphany, and it did, and the game just literally ended. It's been great. I liked it a lot. So far, the games where it's been like a value engine have not been the most common, but I have to assume that that is a viable... I know that that is a viable way that it can be good. We just haven't gotten there quite yet. I'm just going to discard Fading Hope. Why not? Well, thank you. Alright, well, more Windfalls. That's a viable game plan. Oh, did I discard Fading Hope when I was supposed to discard Epiphany? I did. That was. Oh well. My opponent's kind of over here just not doing anything, which makes this whole gold fishing plan a little easier. Boop. Deadly Dispute, sacking things to make treasures and draw cards. It's cute. It's like the opponent's playing a tiny version of my deck. Huh. Alright. Growth Spiral. Fading Hope. Okay. So let's, I guess, go ahead and put that into play tapped, and then play the Ketria Triome, and then just hold up Divide by 0 for whatever the opponent wants to do next turn. And then I can play Lier and start emptying my graveyard for when we eventually top deck a Arcane Bombardment. Trail of Crumbs. Okay. If you want to spend a bunch of your mana on Trail of Crumbs, opponent, I'm fine with it. So we play a Lier, and then we pass the turn. Opponent probably tries to kill Lier in response. Assassin's Trophy. Tempting. That does make mana. Maybe I'm supposed to let that happen? I'm probably not supposed to let that happen. Alright, so let's go ahead and Growth Spiral. Put a Ketria Triome into play. Flashing back Growth Spiral with Lier is probably my new favorite thing in the world. No, I should have shocked in the blue source so I didn't have to spend a treasure to Fading Hope. I'm so bad at Magic. I could have had one more mana. Bummer. Alright, well. Can you kill me, opponent? Deadly Dispute. Yeah, opponent's drawing like 3 cards, putting treasures into play. I respect their moxie. They're going for it. They know what's best in life, even if they don't know how to most efficiently achieve it. We play Lier. Shock a land into play. Pass the turn. Yeah, I don't have enough mana to do anything after Unexpected Windfalling, so I might as well just pass the turn. I could Flame Blast Bolt the Gilded Goose, but if I'm being entirely honest, that puts more spells in my graveyard, and it just doesn't seem like the right thing to be doing. What is best in life? Drawing cards and having more mana. Very simple. Straightforward stuff, honestly. Countering spells? Countering spells is more of a means to an end than an actual end. Countering spells allows you to spend more time drawing cards and making additional mana. We can discard Flame Blast Bolt, and then just Flame Blast Bolt this Goblin Shaman, I think. No! Do I even need this Lier anymore? I don't actually know if I need this Lier anymore. I guess maybe I need this Lier anymore? First, let's scry and see if I need this Lier anymore. Because if I have Arcane Bombardment, I don't need this Lier anymore. Alright, maybe I need this Lier more. I'm gonna lose a scry if I Fading Hope the Lier, though. I'm gonna lose the scry even if I don't Fading Hope the Lier, because Assassin's Trophy will shuffle. Hey, Arcane Bombardment, we did it. No, we didn't. There's cards in the graveyard. Shoot. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna have to do it this way then. Arcane Bombardment. Oh, wait, no, I can still do this. This works. Oh, unless they Assassin's Trophy me. Okay, I guess I did this in the wrong order then. They have a third Assassin's Trophy for my Arcane Bombardment, but they do not. Perfect. Okay. Full control. Fading Hope, bounce a goose. In response, Flame Blessed Bolt, zap a goose. Resolve, trigger. Arcane Alrund's Epiphany is the only valid card in the graveyard. The opponent is continuing to take game actions. Very few of them matter. Unless they are able to remove Arcane Bombardment. Hey, that's a spell. So we keep that on top. Alright, we are going to Unexpected Windfall. Discarding Alrund's Epiphany. In response, we Galvanic Iteration. After Galvanic Iteration resolves, but before Arcane Bombardment resolves, we flash back Galvanic Iteration, and I believe this results in me casting 4 Alrund's Epiphanies this turn? Off of casting 2 spells? Well, 3, I guess, technically. Yep. Cool. How do we feel about this opponent? No? Okay. They have outs. Yeah. Technically, I suppose. I mean, I'm going to be really mean until you concede, opponent. I'm sorry, but I can't pass this up. No attacks. I gotta figure out how many of these that I can stack up, now that every spell is 2 spells. Or, well, every spell is 2 turns. No! Come back, opponent! I was gonna get the extra turns number up to like 20, maybe 40. There's a very real chance I might be able to set a record for the new most extra turns on the stack on Arena.